But yeah, definitely love to see as many people out at these different events that we have coming up.
Definitely. So, guys, let's get into a little action. Free agency. How exciting and how glued have you been to ESPN, NFL, morning? I guess everyone and everything who's covering it, and everyone's it's talking about it. I mean, you have everyone on Twitter tweeting it. How exciting is free agency this year? Is it for me? I feel like it's more intense than last year. Is that just me?
I don't know. I feel like, yeah. I mean, I could agree with that. I feel like every year, it was funny. I was on Twitter at like 3:55 on I think it was Tuesday right before free agency started, and just all the NFL beat guys just were like getting ready. Here you go, like, and then when 4 o'clock hit, it was just like ever since then it's been nonstop madness. I mean, people getting signed every 5 minutes. It seems like there's rumors for people here, rumors for people there. It's just insane. And on top of that, we got trades going on. I mean, we got Percy Harvin moving, Bolden moving. I mean, it is just nuts with the movement, going around the league right now. And I feel like not only is it tiny, like maybe role players or that are getting moved in free agency and pieces that are certainly going to be important to teams next year, but you got some big names, on the move. Steven Jackson today going to Atlanta. That's huge. I think that's going to be very interesting to see how he plays out. Got a little thunder lightning with him and Jaquiz Rogers next year. I mean, who is going to want to go up against that Atlanta offense? They have obviously the receiving core is very strong. Tony Gonzalez. Now you got Steven Jackson, who's been playing, most of his career with 8 in the box. Now he gets to probably see teams with 2 deep safeties trying to cover Roddy White and Julio Jones. So Steven Jackson, he might have a big year next year. Watch out.
Oh my gosh. And I'm going to don't even get me started into Steven Jackson. I'm going to have my Steven Jackson time here, Coleman, because Steven Jackson is a beast. And the fact that he just joined the Falcons, that's just going to be ridiculous. But forget Steven Jackson. Forget Steven Jackson, man. Steven Jackson who? We got Nick Sundberg. Folks, let's take a break here. Joining us on the line is your Washington Redskins long snapper, re-signed, number 57. Come on, Nick Sundberg. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
Hey, pretty good, dude. So, hey, congratulations, first of all. I know that you...
Thank you.
We've been talking. I've been bugging you, if anything. That we've been talking. I've been bugging you and kind of really waiting to see when this thing was going to get signed or happen. This contract of yours, and it looks like it happened Sunday. So tell me, what were you doing? How did it happen? And how do you feel right now?
Well, I mean, we've been working on this for a couple months now, just trying to finagle the numbers in the right way, I guess. But, I was just really excited. My agent called me on Sunday morning and said, hey, they finally reached an agreement that I can recommend that you sign. Like, I'm going to email it to you and let me know what you think. So, of course, I just forwarded it to my mom and had her read it. And then she called me and said, hey, it looks really good. So then I called my agent back and said, hey, okay, I can sign this.
That's awesome. So your mama is a lawyer part 2? That's awesome.
My mom oversees everything, darling. Come on, you've met her. You know that.
I know. That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah. But honestly, I was just at the house. It happened really early in the morning. Like, my husband woke me up to tell me. And then I got the email and went to Kinko's and signed it and sent it back to him that day. And, just took a whole lot of stress off my back, basically.
So I'm disappointed that you didn't take my advice like Darren Williams and signed it through your iPad or iPhone.
Yeah, I apologize.
All right.
A lot of my iPad didn't do that.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so Nick Coleman here with Darwin. Congratulations, to yourself, especially another guy on the special teams unit. The Redskins are also bringing back, the punter, Savraga. How does it feel to have the whole unit back next year?
Honestly, I'm super excited. I'm really, really, really glad they got a deal done with Sav. I know they were having a lot of issues trying to move some money around so that they could re-sign him. But he's a vital part of our operation. I mean, Sav is everything to our, cohesiveness. He's an older guy. He's a veteran. He's real level-headed. He's what, brings those younger guys together. He's a real good, solid leader on the team. I mean, he's a great, great guy. He's got a great family outside of that. But it was just awesome to be around. So he was actually something I was really, really happy to see re-sign.
You're listening to Clutch Sports Radio. We're joined by Washington Redskins long snapper Nick Sundberg after signing his contract. Now, Nick, did you take a look at that video that I sent you of Sav? By the way, folks, I sent Nick a video of Sav back in Australia when he was in the rugby league, kicking that sucker. I'm sure you'd seen that video, right? Or was that the first time?
It's not rugby, my friend. He'll get real mad at you.
Oh. Yeah, and that dude is like 6'5". He'll pound me with a finger.
Well, yeah, that video was crazy. But don't forget that was almost 20 years ago now. Back when he was about 225 pounds running around in those little bitty shorts,
That's pretty funny.
So that's the best video, though. I make fun of him for that video all the time, but he sure did have a cannon back then. I mean, he's still got a cannon now. This is a different game, though. It was unreal watching him play that.
Yeah. So going off of what Coleman just asked you, having Sav back, having Kai, and you mentioned it's a unit, and that's one thing that I've really it's a unit. You guys work together now with your new special teams coach. I know it's exciting, but I think I've heard that you have reached out to him. You guys talked a little bit. You obviously haven't met. But what are you really looking forward? Like, what is the first thing on the schedule to check off when you guys get together?
Honestly, for me, it's just kind of getting to know his coaching style. Just because everybody coaches in a different way. You know, you have coaches that like to yell a lot. You have coaches that don't like to yell a lot. That just kind of tell you what to do, and if you don't do it, then they cut you. So, it's kind of one of those things where I really got to gauge, I guess, his personality, and I'm kind of interested to see how similar to Danny he is or how different from Danny he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. And, we talked about bringing Sav back and having, that part of the special teams unit back together, which is great. I know a piece that, unfortunately, we did have to say goodbye to was Lorenzo Alexander.
I know.
Yeah, what kind of effect do you think that has on the special teams? Have you had a chance to talk to Lorenzo and kind of just give us your insight on that?
No, I reached out to him on Twitter a little bit, but I know this is a super busy time for him.
Yeah.
I'm actually planning on giving him a call this next week. I live in Arizona in the offseason, so I know he's got a big move to make here soon. So I'm gonna try and reach out and see if there's anything I can do to make that move a little easier for him. But I mean, that's a huge, huge hit. Lorenzo is an excellent leader on and off the field. I mean, not only is he an absolute beast on the field, performance-wise, showing us how it's done every play. I mean, off the field as well. I mean, he is literally, guys go to him when they have problems and ask, hey, so, what do you think of it? Hey, can you help me out with it? Stuff like that. So I think, he's just such a high-character guy. I hate to see somebody like that go. But I understand the situation just because, he's got to do what's best for him and for himself and his family and things like that. So, I wish him the best in Arizona, and I'm actually really happy that I don't have to play against him next year.
Yeah, Nick, we actually did something earlier this week where we asked some of the Twitter followers from Clutch Sports to, come up with some questions for you. And actually, Matt W. had actually tweeted asking you, were you angry kind of at the cap penalty for maybe losing a guy like Lorenzo, or do you think he might have left anyway and kind of tested the market?
I don't think he would have left anyway. I was super upset at the cap penalty because it's not just the team that gets screwed. It's us players as individuals. Like, I wasn't able to sign the contract that I wanted because of the cap penalty. And I'm a way at the bottom kind of guy. So I can't imagine guys who are making a whole lot more money than me going, man, I'm going to have to take a $3 million pay cut to stay with this team like that. It's huge money,
Right.
So I'm definitely disappointed that we had those issues this year because of guys like Lorenzo that we have to say goodbye to.
Yeah, and another question. It's not from me. I promise you, it's not from me. What are the terms of the contract? That's what somebody on Twitter wants to know. I told him I was probably going to get my butt kicked for asking again, but can you tell us now?
I don't know what the rules are with that. I think they'll release it eventually. But it was a 4-year deal.
That sounds good. 4-year deal.
Yeah. I don't really know how else to go for that.
I got you. No, I got you. Crush easy. There you go. I asked him, my man. 4-year deal. So, did you? All right.
I'll be there for all of it. That's the playing.
Yeah, and we're getting in the chat room here. Everyone's excited, man. But here, my question that I gotta ask: did you eat anything? Come on, Nick. You know I asked, what did you have for dinner? Did you go out and have some extra like shrimp, some I don't know, some extra fillet wrapped in God knows what you dudes do? What was up for eating when you signed?
Honestly, this week has been super relaxed. I'm headed to Vegas tonight, so I'll have a nice meal in Vegas. I saved all my money for Vegas.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, but my man, I won't bother you anymore. Tell Mama I said hi. Congratulations again. So glad to talk to you, man, and I'm excited to see you soon.
Hey, guys, I appreciate having me on. It's always a pleasure. Take care, all right?
Hey, before we let you go, people, and I have you here, I'm challenging you right now. Not challenging you, really. But, Nick, tomorrow the roster is being released, and for what you asked for, Nick is going to be playing in the celebrity softball game. So you'll see Nick's name and the rest of the squad. I hear maybe by a guy named Kerrigan might be on the squad as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are going.
Oh yeah. So apparently, I'm going after you in number 91. So we'll see. So again, man.
Let me play first base because I'm not playing any other position. I'll just say that.
That's hilarious. Well, you're gonna have fun seeing me swing that bat. Okay, let's just put it that way.
Oh, yeah. Most of media guys are really, really athletic. I know this.
Hey, dude, come on! You've seen me working in the gym. Are you kidding me? I'm ready to like break metal. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I'll believe you when I see it, man.
All right, buddy. Have a good night, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, take care, guys. Thanks again.
No problem. That was Nick Sundberg, your Washington Redskins long snapper, joining Clutch Sports Radio here after the signing. Always have fun with that guy.
That's awesome that he's back, man.
I'm
really happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. If he's going to be wearing his Jordans. What's up? Wait, I missed all this conversation. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm in the chat box.
Yeah.
So, Crush, I told you, man. I asked him like every day that I talked to him this week, Crush Easy. I asked him.
He told us 4 years, so that's pretty good. I feel like for a guy like a long snapper, 4 years, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. I just hope that it doesn't get, I just hope it keeps going. You know what I mean?
And I think that's actually something the Redskins have tried to do to kind of help combat against the cap penalties, maybe stretch contracts over a couple of years and guarantee you guys a couple more years instead of maybe giving them a lot more money up front. I know they had to get pretty creative, so that's awesome though that he's getting that 4-year deal.
Ascot, I apologize. I just saw your question about A.J. Smith and asking Nick about that. I'll definitely ask him, and I'll get you a question. I'll get you an answer by the end of the show. I promise you. So that was a good time having Nick. So let's get on with it. Like I mentioned, you were talking Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
I had to step out and get Nick on the phone, so I didn't really hear what you said. But man, I'm so excited. I'm not excited to see this guy. I'm excited for him as a player. I get really excited to see Steven Jackson because he's a beast. I looked at a picture today. I just Googled pictures of Steven Jackson, and like every picture, he was either stiff-arming somebody or 2 dudes, or he had 3 or 4 dudes trying to bring him down, and he was still on his feet. Like the guy is just ridiculous. He's just gone off when he plays the Redskins. I mean, he's just a beast. He's a big back, man, a big body. Yeah. The dude is just phenomenal. I feel like the Rams definitely have been a struggling team. He's been the face of that organization for a very long time. I'm very happy for him as a fan to see him move on because that dude is a workhorse. He needed to go to a team that's going to be in the point where they're competing year in and year out, and that's what the Falcons have shown at this point in time. Michael Turner was on his way out. His tires, his tread were no longer there, so it's an amazing replacement for the Atlanta Falcons to get a running back like Steven Jackson to go in there. And it's going to be, he wants to be the every down back. He feels like he's an every down back. He feels like he's a starter. I think he is. It's going to be a crazy-ass team, especially with Tony Gonzalez back, Michael Turner, Julio Jones, Roddy White. Woo! The Falcons are going to be scary good.
So here's the thing, and the thing about the Falcons, and what I mentioned before was their weapons on the outside, obviously with Roddy White and Julio Jones, and then they have Tony Gonzalez, obviously at tight end. Their offense through the air, and Matt Ryan took a big step last year. They have a lot of weapons. Now they have a little bit of what I said earlier, thunder, lightning with Jacquizz Rodgers, and now Steven Jackson. The thing for Steven Jackson, the key for him, is going to be if he can stay healthy. he has that downhill running style where he does like to knock people over. You hate to have to tackle him in the open field. And as a Redskins fan, I hated having to play against him. But he has had some injury problems in the past couple of years, whether I think maybe it was like his toe or maybe his ankle, his shoulder, something like that. But that's going to be something key to watch to see if he can stay on the field. You just mentioned Michael Turner as a guy that has kind of lost his wheels a little bit. Steven Jackson, with his running style and his age, which is getting up there, I wonder how long he will be as effective as he is, and if he'll be able to stay on the field.
Yeah, I agree. But, I see Brother Brady right now in the chat box saying that he likes Seahawks or the 49ers in the NFC. Man, we were just talking about the Atlanta Falcons, and they're going to be scary good with this addition of Steven Jackson. I think that makes them really scary good. But look at the Seahawks. Look at the Seahawks and that offense and whatnot. Look at that new. First of all, are the Seahawks like? Are they best friends with the Vikings or they're getting the Vikings leftovers? But those leftovers from the Vikings are pretty darn good. First, Sidney Rice, not bad, and now Percy Harvin. I'll take Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin's a pretty good wide receiver. That team has definitely upgraded, and that team is going to be very dangerous on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and so here's where you have to be a little bit scared as a Redskins fan, and this cap issue really affecting them in the offseason. They're not able to make moves. They can't make moves right now. They kind of went back and re-signed a bunch of guys that they had on the team last year, which is great. I like having continuity, having that team mentality. But then you look at the other playoff teams in the NFC. Seattle knocked them out last year. What did they do? They went out and got Percy Harvin. They've added a couple other pieces. They added a great defensive end today, Cliff Averill. They've made a lot of moves to just make that team better, which a team that was already great. Now you look at the 49ers. What do? Bring in Bolden. They lost a couple pieces, I think, on the defense side of the ball. But they're obviously were in the Super Bowl last year. They're still very strong. Then you look at the Falcons and the moves they've made. They were one of the best teams in the NFL in the regular season last year. As the Redskins and looking at the other teams that were kind of in the playoffs last year, you gotta be scared, and it kind of stinks to have to sit back and watch them make these moves when they really watch other teams make these moves when the Redskins can't do anything at all.
Yeah, not only that, but the scary part is knowing that every single time for the past few times that we've gotten into the playoffs, and the Redskins have gotten into the playoffs, where do we go? We go to the freaking Seahawks twice. And then we come to Quest Field twice, and then once the FedEx Field, hoping that we were going to get that W for the first time in the past 3 times that we played the Seahawks. We didn't get that W in FedEx Field, home field advantage against a crazy team. But this team has just, again, they've gotten better. That's an upgrade. They're going to get better. Russell Wilson's going to get better. Everyone around him is going to get better. The chemistry with that team. Marshawn Lynch. My goodness, Pro Bowler, you name it. That dude's a beast. He's a monster. Skittles, baby, Skittles. And I just, that's the part that sucks for the Redskins is if we get to the playoffs, we're going to probably one way or another hit that team. And we just don't match up well against that team. Yeah. We haven't shown to. Truth.
Well, yeah, truth. And right now, I mean, as a team that just lost, last year in the playoffs in the first round, like I said, this is just, looking into next year, you want to be really excited, and it's great. But I mean, think about all the open, the holes on the Redskins roster right now, and their, inability to at least, address those holes right now. And you're seeing the other powers just, become more powerful, if you will.
Yeah, it's a shame. I don't know what that was from. Let me just tell you. Don't know what that was from. But it happened.
This time, and the Eyes Radio Network has a great contest for you. Forget about the office bracket pools for small prizes. The Eyes Radio Network has teamed up with YourFanZone.com for our 2013 Tournament Challenge. What can you win? How about a brand new 16-gigabyte black iPad 2 plus other prizes for the runners-up? Just go to YourFanZone.com and register for free as a new user. I want to ask you for a promo code. Type in the word Eyes Radio, all one word, and then you'll get the on-screen information about our bracket group, which is being hosted by CBSSportsLine.com. Make sure you come back to your CBSSportsline.com account after Selection Sunday on March 17th and get your picks in on who you think is going to win this year's NCAA men's basketball tournament. For the details, go to EyesRadio.com and click the contest tab. The EyesRadio.com 2013 NCAA March Madness Challenge, sponsored by YourFanZone.com, who gives you the opportunity to go from rags to riches in one day.
All right, everyone, so you got to get in there. You got to go to eyesradio.com, click on contests for this March Madness bracket challenge. Get in there. And by the way, guys, if you need a little advice on who to pick, if you're on the fence, who's going to win, who do I pick, go to pickfactor.com, because I know that Monday or after Monday, Tuesday, pickfactor.com. If you guys don't know it, it's game day predictions and analysis. There's for NFL, college, English Premier League, MMA, UFC, Bellator, and NBA. They just launched the NBA page. So if you want to know who's winning and why, from the experts and even players that played or are currently playing in the game, go to pickfactor.com. But Tuesday, people, for this March Madness, when you're filling out all these brackets and you need to know or have a little cheat sheet, then you go to pickfactor.com, because every expert from ESPN, CBS Sports, you name it, who's going to put their predictions out there, PickFactor is going to have that bracket on there. They're going to have the best of the best, so you can get exactly who the best experts in the country, experts, writers, TV, you name it, are picking for this bracket to win the NCAA championship. So you guys need that little extra edge. Go to pickfactor.com on Tuesday, because you're going to be able to get those aggregated, beautiful NCAA brackets. The best of the best, pickfactor.com. So pickfactor.com, eyesradio.com for this bracket challenge. You're going to be all set. I know that's what I'm going to do, Coleman, and I got you, Coleman. I'm going to get you beat, all right? And I'm not picking on purple shirts, all right? Because ladies do that, and the ladies win. But I'm gonna take it and say I'm gonna beat the ladies. I'm not gonna go, oh, the shirts are red, I'm gonna go with all the red ones. All right? I'm just saying. Does your girlfriend do that? And I know she's probably in the chat box. I'm gonna get beat up.
Yeah, and by the team names and whatnot.
Hey, every girl who I've had in my life does that too. So Coleman's girlfriend, you're not alone. That's awesome. So let's keep going with this free agency talk. So Coleman, which free agency signing was the one that got exciting for you? Not necessarily on the Redskins side, around the NFL. Which were like, wow, that team's going to be just ridiculous this year.
It was my Super Bowl prediction from last year. Who was actually going to be my Super Bowl prediction for next year, and that's the Denver Broncos. Wes Welker. I mean, that came out of didn't really come out of nowhere, but at least in my head, I was just kind of sitting there thinking, yeah, he'll re-sign with the Patriots. And it seemed like in the matter of a day, he was, it was kind of like, maybe not. And then boom, he's gone. Now he's moved on from Tom Brady. He's adding to the likes of Peyton Manning, and look at that receiving core. I mean, you got Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, Wes Welker now. I mean, Peyton Manning, I mean, he's had the benefit of being able to have a lot of great, weapons in the course of his career. But he's also turned a lot of players into great receivers. And now look at the people that he's throwing to right now. I mean, that is great. That Denver Broncos offense is going to be something to watch next year.
All right, guys. So everyone in the chat box, I'm going to ask this: which do you guys think is a better combination in terms of production? Who do you think is going to have the best production? Tom Brady, Wes Welker combination, or do you think that the whole Peyton Manning, Wes Welker combination is going to produce more? And I know that if you initially say Tom Brady, Wes Welker, yeah, they have the history, but look at what Peyton Manning does to everyone. I mean, look what he does just to everyone. Come on now. I don't think with those two guys being veterans, they're not going to have any issues. So, what do you think? What's your answer, Coleman? Which do you think is a better combination in terms of production at the end of the day? Is it going to be Tom Brady, Wes Welker, or Peyton Manning, Wes Welker?
I think it's going to be Tom Brady and Wes Welker, and the reason why is just because Peyton Manning has a couple other really good pieces. Not to say that Tom Brady didn't, but I mean, obviously Wes Welker played alongside like some Randy Moss at one point in time. But I just think that Peyton Manning's also a guy that seems to spread the ball out a little bit more, at least in my opinion. So, I think it could be close, but I think it's going to be more like Tom Brady and Wes Welker. What I'm really interested to see is how Danny Amendola, who just signed with the Patriots, will fit into kind of Wes Welker's shoes. I know he's a guy that put up a couple big games last year with the Rams, and now I think he's just going to be pretty much kind of thrown into that Patriots offense. I'm really excited to see how he fits in and how Tom Brady's able to work with him and kind of in that Wes Welker type role.
That's a good one. 816 yards. Before I tap into that one, 816 yards, I believe, is the number that I saw that Wes Welker had, or more yards than Stokely. And I say Stokely because if Stokely could be going bye-bye with Welker being in there. But going back to your question, Danny Amendola and Wes Welker, one comparison that I can honestly say that the two, and Wes has got Danny beat, is health. Danny has not played, I think he's played one, not even a full season in the past 3 years, right, something like that, where Wes hasn't missed. You know what I mean? He's just consistently there. Danny Amendola, he's younger, he's a little bigger, his production is great. I mean, he killed the Redskins single-handedly, so that doesn't say much, that game. We always match up really not great against the Rams. I don't know why. Every freaking
Josh
year,
Gordon
man.
didn't help that game.
Jeez Louise. But, so I don't know. Amendola can't stay healthy. So overall, I don't know what's going to, that trade might bite them in the butt. And Tom Brady, not Tom Brady, Wes Welker said that one of the biggest decisions, what made this the biggest decision was Tom Brady, missing Tom Brady, and not having that whole thing. But when it comes down to it, man, I don't get it, because the Patriots needed a Wes Welker. The Patriots haven't had, and the Patriots always get by, and I know that they're always in there, but they really needed Wes Welker, I felt like. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good slot player. He's I think he's the best slot player in terms of statistics coming off of this past year. And, but I don't know, man. I don't know why they didn't act on it. They didn't have the problems that the Washington Redskins had. And why not keep a guy like that? He's a hard worker, doesn't get into trouble. His wife talked more trash than he does after that. But besides it, if you tell your wife to just calm it down a little bit, you're good to go with that dude. I don't know what the heck was the problem with Kraft, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I know Tom Brady is probably pretty pissed right about now. I mean, Wes Welker seemed to be kind of like, his go-to, his boy, both on and off the field. And I think I even saw something that Tom Brady heard about the deal they offered Wes Welker and called it like laughable. So he's been pretty vocal about not being too thrilled about this. And I know he just went through his own re-signing, but it's very interesting to see how that Patriot offense reacts. I think you're gonna start to see just how good Tom Brady is. What people do forget sometimes, though, is they do have Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. So they have a couple good, receivers still right there. And it seemed like Tom Brady was kind of, picking and choosing the receiver he would kind of lean on in games last year. Now you might look to see, and Brandon Lloyd, who, had some good years, obviously. But I think you'll kind of see who his favorite targets really are right now. You might see them go a lot more to tight end sets. A lot of times you might see Aaron Hernandez maybe line up more in the slot, which they did some of last year, but you might even look for it more next year.
Yeah. Overall, bad decision.
Yes.
You're listening to Clutch Sports Radio.
And speaking of, not to change the subject, but that was Adam Carricker. Congratulations, my friend, for re-signing. I talked to him a few times this week. He was going to call the show. Something came up. He got really busy. So we'll get him on real soon. But he's pretty excited, as you can imagine. He was one of those guys that restructured his contract to stay here with the Washington Redskins. Yeah, thank you for restructuring, sticking around, and opening up a little bit more room for the other guys, although there's not much room there, man. And how bad does this freaking really suck? I mean, it's really gotten us good this year. Last year, too, but I feel like this year, man, maybe it's because we had a successful campaign that we just want to keep these guys, and now we have that problem.
Friedman was quoted saying, I'm glad to help. Glad to help the team with the salary cap this year. That's awesome. I really like seeing that. And I think it has helped them bring back, some other guys and get under that cap number.
Ah, man. So what else? Let's see. Gronk, Hernandez, Amendola, Lloyd, Ridley. They have playmakers. Of course they do. And that's what I mean. The Patriots are gonna be all right. Don't get me wrong. The Patriots are always all right. No matter who they bring. They brought Randy Moss. The year they brought Randy Moss, what happened? Him and Tom Brady exploded, broke records. But then what happened? They got rid of Randy, and the Patriots kept on going. Look at the Patriots. I'm not saying they're gonna get messed up, but what I'm saying is they also need to make decisions. But again, the Patriots are the Patriots, right? We can't. Who are we to question the Patriots and that organization and the way that they run things? Obviously, they've shown to be successful. So I guess you just gotta wait and see. But I saw Danny Amendola come up in the chat box. That is another name, in my opinion, just like a Wes Welker, that you need a guy like Danny Amendola because those are guys that are playing a beautiful role on your team and that are successful, that produce. I mean, come on now, and they're not going to cost that much money. Wes Welker wasn't going to cost that much money overall. Danny Amendola, he's not going to cost very much money. Those are players, in my opinion, you have to keep. I think. I don't know. Maybe you give him some what is it? Some Uggs. Come on, Tommy. Give him some Uggs, Tommy. Maybe that's a problem. Did you not give Wes Welker's wife enough Tom? Not Toms. What are they? I just said Uggs. Uggs. Sorry, ladies. I'm not with the Uggs. Do you have any Uggs, Coleman?
No.
I'm just kidding. Coleman, for Christmas, will you tell everyone I want some Uggs? I bet those are for dudes. I don't even know what an Ugg shoe looks like for a dude. I know that they're out there. I don't know what they look like. Are they nice looking even? Because they're nice. I don't care if they're Uggs, man.
I hear they're comfortable is what I hear they are.
Really?
Yeah. That's more.
I gotta Google this. I gotta Google these. They need to re-sign him, but I hear the Skins want to leave.
Another Patriot. They can't. There's just no way. He's one of the top-rated, free agents right now in terms of corner. I know they want him, but I just don't see how they can do it. I mean, they're fighting for every penny. I know the Raheem Morris connection is bringing a lot of old Tampa Bay secondary guys kind of back or into the mix, at least with Washington. Talib was a guy that played with Raheem Morris in Tampa, so that's kind of I think where this rumor is kind of started. Tanner Jackson, obviously, a guy that's on the roster right now, played with Raheem Morris in Tampa. But in terms of the Redskins making a move on him, I don't see it happening.
Folks, everybody, get on your computer, your smartphone. I don't care what you do. Google Uggs for men. This thing is freaking ridiculous. Coleman, I thought they were regular shoes. Bro, those are dudes wearing the freaking boots, tucking their pants in like women do. Look at this dude. He's famous, I think. Wearing them with shorts. Oh my gosh. What the heck is wrong with people? Oh, dude, look at Ben Affleck. He looks like a chick. Look at him. All right, people. Every dude who wears Uggs, you're not a dude. I'm saying. One of these days, I'm going to have a lot of money, and people are going to want to endorse my stuff and be like, yo, Darwin, I'll pay you millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars to wear my stuff. And I'm going to be like, what is it? And they're going to be like, Uggs. I'm like, nah, that's cool. I would straight up turn an endorsement down if it was Uggs. I'm not even joking. Because if Uggs comes, then the freaking Timberland's gonna come. And I'm gonna wait for Timberland. I don't even like Timberland. You know what I mean? Just because I'm not gonna wear Uggs. That's for the rest of your life, Coleman. Uggs, and you Google Uggs and Tom Brady, it's there for the rest of your life. That's crazy. Ascot, you love Uggs. What color do you have, Ascot? I'm just They make regular boots too. All right, Cass. They do not look normal or regular. These are women boots. I know, Ascot. I know you were joking, dude. I'm not. I'm messing with you, man. I hope you don't have any Uggs. If you do, man, it's cool. Just send me a picture with you wearing them so I can laugh at you. I'm just saying. What else, Coleman? What do you think? Free agents.
I mean, we haven't even mentioned Mike Wallace yet. Obviously, the Dolphins.
That was my dude from last week.
Yeah, that was your dude from last week. Dolphins made a couple different moves, this week.
Paid him.
Yeah, but they sure did pay him. That's for sure. I kind of want to see what the chat box thinks about this. Mike Wallace, Miami. Will it matter? Does he have a quarterback there that's going to be able to give him the ball? The running game, where's that going to be in Miami? I'm very interested to see how he fits in and what his production will look like in that offense.
Reggie Bush gone, so who's the running back? Who's going to take all the carries?
They have Daniel Thomas. I'm not sure.
But what I'm saying is they were the back in that system. They were splitting it with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush now gone. Reggie Bush is not just a back. He's that dude that versatility. That's why the Redskins, there was a little even rumor of the Redskins interested in him because he can catch it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But then the Dolphins for the AFC East, are they the best team in the AFC East now with Mike Wallace?
Not a chance.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's that type of player.
No?
Yeah, not anywhere close. I think the Patriots are still there, even though they lost Wes Welker. But, I mean, obviously you want to add a guy like that. But, I mean, I think they have Brian Hartline on the opposite side of him. But they still have a long ways to go, I think, in terms of being one of the better teams. Wide receiver's been a pretty interesting, spot to watch in terms of people shifting. I mean, obviously, Percy Harvin shifts, Anquan Bolden shifts, Mike Wallace shifts, Wes Welker shifts. I mean, this is what I was kind of talking about at the beginning of the show. These are big names. I mean, name another position where you kind of have these big name players moving. I mean, there's a lot of people kind of shifting around the league, and it's going to be interesting to see how they fit in on their new teams in terms of being number one receivers and so forth. And it seems I always kind of want to watch how their production is affected.
Yeah, absolutely. How about we take a little break and we have a fun guest here that's joining us online. And when we get back with this guest, I want to really tap into the Redskins, and we're going to get into a little bit of this. But joining us on the line is Down South Skins. Down South Skins. You can follow them on Twitter. I came across these guys a couple of weeks ago. Brand new website. They're fans, a Redskins fan website, which is awesome. I mean, who doesn't and who couldn't use a little bit more brothers in that like the same thing like the Washington Redskins, and they're an awesome website. So downsouthskins.com is the website. Joining me on the line is Reggie. Reggie, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going now?
Oh, good, man. So we're talking here, having a little fun here on Clutch Sports Radio in studio, and we're talking now free agency. So let's get into a little bit from a fan's perspective. I mentioned Down South Skins, a big fan website. Looks like you guys are having fun. As a fan, man, who are you missing? What was your kind of your disappointment or your excitement for the Redskins on the free agent side?
Oh man, I'm hurting during this time because right about now, all Redskins fans are normally excited, pumped up, but because we're known for spending that money, but now being in this position where we're hit with this penalty, I'm missing both guys. I mean, the defense. I mean, I understand the move, but we're definitely going to be hurting in the secondary with the cornerback situation with D'Angelo Hall leaving, and also Lorenzo. I mean, Lorenzo. He's a fun, likable guy, and didn't get in any trouble. So outside of football, you also have to worry about your players getting into off-season problems and DUIs and all of that type of thing. So we didn't have to deal with that problem. So I'm definitely missing the defense because that's where we kind of lagged a little bit. So we definitely didn't need any problems on the defense. But knowing the Redskins have been a stand for so long, I know that we're going to make some moves. It's just this year we got to be a little bit more patient, and we're going to sit back. We're going to make some moves. So everybody keep their hopes up high because it's not over yet. It's just been a few days in. So I know we're used to getting out the gate rocking, but I think we're still going to make some moves. We're playing our cards just right, dealing
So Reggie, let's back it up. And I forgot. First, I want to hear your take. Tell me about Down South Skins. What's that all about?
Down South Skin is a movement. It's a fan club. We're excited. We're pumped. We're actually in the South. The reason that we're named the Down South Skin is because we're located in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's just a group of guys and ladies actually that have gotten together who are diehard Skins fans. We put together this organization in January, and it has taken off like you would not believe. We're getting calls from all over. Our Twitter is blowing up. Got a chance to meet you guys, and looking forward to coming down there and getting a chance to meet you guys and coming and supporting you as well. So we're just a movement. We're a group of fun-loving guys and girls, and we're just having fun right now. We're enjoying the Redskins like never before because we're winning. We're all together. We're pumped up, and like I said, right now, kind of on edge because we're just waiting to see what this free agency is doing. But in the meantime, we're still moving forward as a unit, and we have monthly events and we do charity events, and we're excited because we're thinking about we're in talks right now of sponsoring our very own. We just found a Little League Redskin football team here.
That's awesome.
In my area. Yeah, so hopefully you're going to have to check back to the site because once we get that worked out, we're going to definitely go out and attend some Little Redskins games, take pictures, put them on the site as well. So it's more than just a watch club. We're doing a lot of community things, and we stay together monthly. I mean, all year round, there's something going on in our fan club. Even though we're just a few months into this thing officially, we have made enormous progress, and people are taking note to it. Even we have quite a few players that have tweeted about us, and actually today, Liddell Betts mentioned that he had seen our site, and they like what's going on. So we're excited about just pumping the name of the Redskins and banning members left and right. That's what we're all about.
That's awesome, man. I've like I said, I've been on the site myself, and it's just awesome. I'm a fan, and we do a show here, but we're all fans of the team, and it's just good to see you guys doing something fun and somewhere else, because you always wonder where the heck are these guys. Like today, I came across this dude that I know through Twitter because of my show and whatnot, and I was like, hey man, are you gonna come to the event where we're playing the celebrity softball game against the media? He's like, no man, I'm from Connecticut. I go, really? But I met you at the Redskins Seahawks game. He goes, yeah, I used to live in Virginia when I was like 5. I was like, wait, so you're from Connecticut, you go to school in New York, and you just came down for the Seahawks Redskins game? He's like, yeah, man, I couldn't miss it. I was like, dude, that is dedication. And, it's awesome to see that. It's there. And Redskins have a big fan base around the country, around the world. But it's always good to actually hear from you guys and know your names and see what you're doing,
Right, exactly. So, and a lot of more fans have come out because for the longest here in my city, I thought I was like one of the only 10 Redskins in the entire city. But just recently, I found that to not be true. So we're over 50-something members now, and we hadn't had our official membership sign up. It's coming up on April the 27th. And speaking of which, that softball celebrity game, I'm planning on making a trip down there to get a chance to see some of the guys in action and hang out with you guys. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, man, we welcome you anytime, Reggie. So, Reggie, before we let you go, what was your disappointing let go, I guess, so far? We haven't. Is it Brandon Banks? Is it D'Angelo Hall? Lorenzo Alexander? Which one are you gonna miss the most?
I think Lorenzo was coming into his own. So out of all the guys, he gave us the least trouble, and like I said, with his youth, D'Angelo Hall, he was a good he was a good cornerback and everything. But I think the most I'm missing Lorenzo Alexander. But because right now we're actually looking at a lead key, so I hope that we can get him, and if we can fill his spot, then we're still okay. But I understand the situation, and it's a family thing. You have to pick family first and go with where the money is coming, and we just didn't have it. So a lot of people are upset or whatnot, but it's just one of those things that we couldn't do anything. So you can't hold a player back just because you're on the salary not really upset. I mean, it's disheartening because you're a fan and you hate to see any of these guys leave, especially after the season we've had. But I understand what's going on because over the years, the Redskins have we've never held back on players in money situations. So with that being said, all of the Redskins across the nation should know that this is a business deal and it's nothing personal at all. So I'm learning to live with all of it.
I gotcha. I'm with you,
Yeah.
Reggie. He's a good dude. We're gonna miss him, but overall, you got to do what's best for you, right? And but hey, man, we enjoyed him for a long time here, and that's for sure. But I'm glad that we're keeping the other dudes like Kedrick. You know, I'm glad that Nick's back. I'm glad that Sab's back. You know, I'm glad that the mentality in DC has changed. And unfortunately, we were hit with something that the Redskins cannot help with this year, $18 million this year specifically. But you know what? The mentality in DC has changed, and man, has it taken a while. And I'll take that any day for any amount of money in terms of penalty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would too. Because honestly, if you want to put things in perspective, in 1 year going to the playoffs, I mean, really, no one really expected us to be in the playoffs. So this should have been a 2-3 year project. But we've grown in 1 year. So I think people should be excited more so than sad about what's going on because this team did some remarkable things. We set records and we moved at an alarming pace to get to where we are. And the only thing we can do is build from that because one thing that hasn't changed much, and if we go ahead and work this situation out with Fred Davis, the offense hasn't changed much. So that's what we should be excited about. Even though we're losing people on defense, but the offense is still intact. We still have the running back. We still have our wide receivers coming back and healthy. And if we can get this thing worked out with Fred Davis, I don't see us missing much. I mean, do you on offense?
I mean, he's going to be a phenomenal. No, I think we're going to be all right overall. But I'll also be honest with you, Reggie. I think that we would be all right with Logan Paulson too. You know, maybe I just maybe not the exact same. Don't get me wrong, but that team would keep on trucking with Logan Paulson. I mean, we showed that, you know, and that's again a beautiful thing. If you're the Washington Redskins, that you have that, you're not peeing in your pants, knowing that you got to get this guy. But hey, if we get him, we need him.